Okay, welcome back to Let's Play Planescape Torment. So I looked up if there was a way to not fight Trius, and there isn't. I have to fight him. So as a result of being kind of discouraged by that and also being like kind of busy, I have not played in I guess a couple of weeks, maybe a week. I don't know. I lose track of how long it was. It probably seems longer than it has been. But anyway, I didn't think that thing was gonna pop up, but it did. Anyway, yeah. So I have to do that, and apparently the number of good deeds you did in the town has to do with how powerful Trius is in this fight. And I guess I knew that, but what I didn't realize is that a couple of the good deeds I think I could have done. Oh, I should pause this because my buffs are wearing off. Actually, well, I'll just pause and talk for a little minute here. So, a few of the good deeds I believe got kind of bugged out. I know there was something I could have done to prevent the execution. And there was something about people selling slaves, and I just didn't see that part. And I think some of it was that it just got kind of bugged out. So I did a couple of them. I managed to do some. Some of them I know I messed up, and some of them I just, it just didn't work for whatever reason. So where we're at now is I have to fight him, and also I have been receiving comments from a viewer who actually really likes the series, but he leaves comments giving suggestions. This is me, Andy, and he has suggested probably about 9 times that that I talk to my companions, and I have not done that yet. And part of it's because, well, at least once I forgot. I'm embarrassed to say, but yeah, this is the first time since I have received a comment that I have recorded. Since I have received a comment telling me to talk to the companions, that I've really recorded after like reading the comments and being aware of it. So I am going to talk to all my companions. But I'm debating whether or not to do that before this battle or after, because I believe it stays paused during dialogue mode. Is there an option for that? I know there was an option for that in Baldur's Gate. Is there an option? Gameplay. Pause during dialogue. Auto pause options. Weapon unusable, character attacked, injured, dead, target gone. Well, excuse me, I seem to be having a little bit of a hiccups. I guess there's not a pause for dialogue, but I believe it automatically pauses for dialogue. I just don't want my buffs to wear off, but I could always reload, because I do have it saved before I buff. So, I'm going to talk to Mort first. Make dialogue with Mort.
And what's eating you, Chief?
Okay. So there should be some new options, I believe, about the whatchamacallit, the Pillar of Skulls. Extra line of tattoos. How did you die, Mort? I think that's the one I want to ask him. No idea, Chief. I kind of forgot when I died. Can't say I blame myself much. At least there was something waiting for me after I died, even if it is life as a floating skull. I mean, it could have been worse. What happened to your body? I don't know, alright? It's just gone. Mark glares at you. But don't think I miss it, because I'm happy just the way I am, and I don't need your half-wit judgments or snide remarks, alright? Okay, come on, shake a leg. No, I think we have some other questions for him. So we could ask about extra line of tattoos. Tell me how you ended up on the Pillar of Skulls. See, well, there's this pillar on Avernus, the first layer of Bator. It's called the Pillar of Skulls, but it's more like the Pillar of Heads. To hear some bashers tell it, it's supposedly made of the heads of Bergs, mostly sages and scholars who used their knowledge of this and knowing of that when they were alive. Sorry about this if it's showing up on the... Oh gosh. I don't want to give anybody a seizure. Okay, there we go. I had to turn the brightness up on my monitor because I could not read it. Sorry, where was I? Sorry, mostly sages and scholars who used their knowing of this and knowing of that when they were alive to stretch the truth a little. So much they might have hurt or killed someone by doing it. Well, when I died, I ended up here. Funny, huh? Not really. Marco's silent for a moment. Yeah, you're right, it's not funny at all. You see, I think I knew a lot of things when I was alive. And maybe when I did know something, I didn't always tell the truth about it. I'm thinking that when I bent the truth once or twice, it may have led to someone getting pinned in the dead book sooner than they should have. Can you remember who? I can't say how I know it, Chief, but I think it was you. I kind of saw that coming. At least once. Thing is, I can't remember what happened. I don't even remember being human, or what I was even like before I woke up on the pillar. Why did you forget? That's pretty much the way of things when you die, as I'm sure you're no stranger to. You just forget. I figure I wasn't a sterling member of the community when I was alive, but hells, who is? Mort sighs. It's just that I can't help it. Nothing's worse than being honest all the time. That's true, but you've got to choose your lives carefully. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Again, Mark clicks his teeth the way he does. It reminds me of someone drumming their fingers. I guess just all that good and evil and lying and cheating catches up with you. And when I get penned in the dead book, it was my turn to pay the ferryman. How did you escape the pillar? Well, you helped me, Chief. When you showed up at the Pillar of Skulls, I pushed my way to the front. My obvious know-how and charm attracted your attention. You knew that I was the head that knew the most, so I got a deal with you. Deal? Oh, we're getting a memory. And this is still paused, which is good. As Mort speaks, your vision seems to bleed into a fiery red, and you hear a howling, horrible screaming tower of voices chittering, screeching, hammering, all of them begging, screaming to be freed, in Mort's voice, faint, almost lost in the horde. He sounds desperate, frightened, and pathetically, tragically lost. You, Skull, speak. The howling voices fall silent, and you watch the tiny, red-lined skull, its cracked features cast in a hellish light, turn its eyes up at you. Blood and ichor has streamed across its features, its teeth chattering, as if cold. I can help you. I know what you seek. All those heads, all their knowing. Please, I beg you, free me. Let me help you. I'll tell you anything, everything. Will you? Swear it, Skull. Swear you will serve me until my end days, or here you will remain. I swear. Please, please free me. You watch as Mort sickeningly swallows his pride, almost a tangible thing. I beg you. Let me help you, please. Very well, I shall free you. Your vision slides as if you are moving, and the howling, screaming cacophony begins again, a nightmarish horde of howls and catcalls and taunts and insults. The feel of your hands sliding into the filthy quagmire of the pillar, the biting of fangs, mandibles, and your hands locking around the tiny skull and ripping, tearing it from the pillar like an old scab. It is done. You look down at the bloody skull in your scarred hands, its eyes covered in ichor from the pillar, and its teeth chatter, once, twice. It reminds you of a wailing newborn, helpless, and in the eyes of the man you once were, pathetic. I have freed you, now your life, and your death is mine. Mort. So I guess Mort means death. So I suppose he's named him, or maybe he remembered a name from before? Get some experience there. Definitely a good idea to talk to companions. I keep forgetting to do it, and I don't know why. I think it's because I actually have to initiate the dialogue, whereas I'm more used to the Baldur's Gate where they just like pipe up if they have something important to say. Because, my memory is just, well, we all know about that. So, okay, Mort's still talking. Your vision swirls, the mists of the past drifting away, and Mort is still chattering on. We talked for a while, Chief, you and me, seeing whether the arrangement would work, and I think we both were really impressed with each other, so you invited me off the pillar, and I've been kind of with you ever since. What happened then? Well, I didn't know I'd lost most of the pillar's knowledge once I was out of it. I mean, how was I to know? I'd never been off the damn thing. But you were pretty understanding about it. You lost all the knowledge? Your vision swirls again, making you dizzy, and you feel your gut churn. You hear the crackling, snapping of bone, and Mort's howls, howling in pain, screaming for someone to stop killing him, and your hand lashing out again and again. Damn you, Skull, you lied to me! I'll thrust you back in that damnable pillar and leave you to die there. There is a clatter of bone against what sounds like metal, a floor or a wall, and the skittering of teeth knocked free. You hear Mort mewling like a beaten dog for you to know that your suffering on the pillar will be nothing to the torment. I will make you suffer. Your vision swirls and Mort's cries ebb, fading into the chattering rhythm. So you realized I still had my uses, so I took up with you, and I've been with you ever since. What did I want from the pillar, and how long was it that I freed you? Mort continues for a moment. Well, as for how long, I don't know the exact count, Chief. Ages, I suppose. I've done all I could do to help you each time, but it's not easy. As for what you wanted at the pillar, I don't know. Once you pried me off, I couldn't remember. Mort, why didn't you say something when we were at the mortuary? Mort suddenly becomes defensive. Because I never know who you're going to be. Some of your incarnations have been stark raving mad. One time you awoke obsessed with the idea that I was your skull and chased me around the spire trying to shatter and devour me. Luckily, you were crushed by a passing cart in the street. Another good and lawful you tried to thrust me back into the pillar because it's where I belonged. Mort smirks. That's why. Besides, no harm's ever come of you not knowing. I think we've been through this actually before at the pillar, but they stayed with us all this time. I said I would. Mort always keeps his promises. Well, most of them. There was this one shit on Arborea who... You suddenly realize that Mort's tone has changed. Past the joke, you realize he's trying to hide something. Something about why he's with you. Mort, seriously, what's up? Chief, I said it's because I promised, alright? He looks irritated. What else could it be? I don't know, you didn't need to stick around after I freed you. Well, of course not, Chief, but Suddenly, his tone of voice strikes a chord in you, and you know why he's remained with you all this time. You feel guilty because you led me to my death so long ago, isn't it? And you've been suffering ever since. Aw, come on, Chief. Me feel guilty? I'm Mort. No, I don't think that's it. When I came to free you from the fate you deserved, you couldn't help but try to help me. And when you could have left me after I freed you, you remained. Because you felt indebted. Mort is silent for a moment, looking at you. Maybe. You know what's funny? At first, I don't know what the feeling was. It kind of slowly eats at you, you know? I mean, at first I thought it was a side effect of some enchantment that bound off me to you. But after a couple 100 years, I realized it was more than that, something deeper. I just felt drawn, connected to you somehow. Maybe it's all your suffering, Chief, your torment. I don't know, maybe I felt, I don't know, responsible for whatever it is I did. What if something I did brought you to this state? Thing is, I don't know me, or whoever I was, really ever had to see the consequences of all the lying and cheating I'd done. And when I saw you for the first time, when I was trapped on the pillar, somehow I knew that you were the one I'd betrayed. Once, long ago. That's all I know. Alright, Mort.
Updated my journal.
Okay, so we actually got it. Oh, okay. Cool. All these increases. Wow. Nah, don't thank me. Mort sighs, and to your surprise, his voice seems stronger somehow, more confident. Some of the cracks and fractures in his skull have vanished as if healed. Nah, the thanks is all to you. I feel I had just had a plane moved off my shoulders, so to speak. So I wonder if this was his constitution or ours. I think we've gone over all the other questions. Sigil. Extra line of tattoos. Yeah, I think we spent over everything, so let's see. Well, I can't tell. I don't remember what their stats were before, but his dexterity and constitution are both good as well as ours, so I guess it doesn't matter as nobody's leveled up. Okay, so well, that was a good thing to do before this battle anyway. I don't think I'm gonna talk to anybody else quite yet. I think I'm gonna just go ahead and give Trius a try here. Just go for it.
Done. And so the dogs return.
Maybe the key is to just... I'm just gonna attack him.
Now see if you can die. At the
I
very
don't
least,
care. I know. I know I have to. So I think I'm just gonna go after him with everything I have. Right away. He hasn't summoned his minions yet.
Endure. In enduring, grow strong.
There's his minions. Are there? Okay, there's over there. Actually have. Well, let's see. Who's gonna get caught here in the cross?
Good as done.
Probably. I don't really need people to go.
Yes.
Head to head with Trius, so.
Ignis hears you.
All right.
They must lend me strength.
Okay. We're resisting quite a bit of the... He resists quite a bit of the magic, but he at least takes some damage. Okay, so we've got, let's see, we've got Mort. Globbing that one. Where's Anna? Globbing that one too. Okay, let's get these Traylons out of here, actually. Just gonna pause right now. No.